Hello, it's James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade, and I am here with Empyrion Galactic Survival. It's a game that's it's very much kind of similar to Space Engineers. In fact, it's, in my opinion, the far superior game to Space Engineers. It's been in early access for quite some time now, and probably will be for quite some time. I think it's a game that's likely going to be in perpetual early access, but that's not necessarily a good thing, seeing as this game tends to grow. In fact, every time I come back to it, I'm having to relearn the game completely. And this time was no exception. Right now, I am in my base without light. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my flashlight and just take a look around. So, I am currently not on a starter planet. This is one system over from a starter system, which I'm playing on Elyon's official server. And here on Elyon's official server, one system over from the starter planets, I should not be getting wiped. Well, not unless, you know, there's a change to the version of the game where so much stuff changes that everyone gets wiped, which does happen in this game. I wouldn't say fairly frequently, but frequently enough. If you've played Empyrion for any length of time, you will get used to big updates that will cause you to have to restart. Right. There's ways around that too, and there's ways to not get around that. I suppose you could say that this has blueprint features. You can create your favorite ship, save it as a blueprint, and you can spawn it in. You could also turn your bases into blueprints and spawn them in. So there's ways to get around the wipes, if you will. However, unless you're playing in creative mode, you can't simply just spawn something in. You're going to need to have the resources to rebuild it. Well, the latest changes in the game have been revolved around CPU. And wait, why aren't you up? Am I out of power? No. What's going on here? Statistics. I have... Where's my battery power? I've got lots of battery power, though it's not full. In fact, I don't like that. Why is that door not on? Light, shield, oxygen, power. The door should be working. Alright. It's working now. I didn't... Not sure what happened there. Anyway, let's go ahead and head out through the door. And this is the Kobayashi Maru, which is just a custom capital vessel I made for the purposes of moving. It's nothing very special, trust me about that. I'll go ahead and just show you my very basic base at this point in time. I've got my maximum 15 array of solar panels out here that I can have on a base, and try to get around the antenna. And yeah, 3 small generators and 3 small fuel tanks, just because, I don't know, it looks cool. No other reason than that. Yes, I could use large generators. Yes, I have the tech. Most of this base is not done for any particular reason. It's just to have a functional base, and for the most part it's functional to my needs at this point in time. So you kind of start this game on a clock. You start it on a starter planet, And you have like 7 days to get the heck off before all your stuff vanishes because you're on a clock. And once I'm not sure if that's still true, but once you leave the starter system, yeah, this is the, wait, what? Oh, this is the starter system here. And it looks as if I could still go back to it. Anyway, it used to be that they cut off these warp lines once you left the starter system, but it seems that you probably can still travel to there. This red warp line over here means that it goes to a PvE system. So if you head to this area, why isn't it showing system stuff? Sector info. Yeah, mode PvP. So basically the inner PvP ring of the galaxy, a lot of treasure can be found here, blah, 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 blah. And then from this side here, if I was to explore over here, you'd probably see another similar link going off to a PvP planet. And then you would have these kind of like a ring of PvP planets that would then have their own branches off to other PvE planets, and then they would link to a starter planet. So sadly, where I started, I had the choice of either a snow planet or a snow planet, and so I chose a snow planet. I could certainly have traveled through the PvP system to try to find new PvE systems that were not snow planets. However, I'm kind of fine with living on a snow planet because all it means is that it's going to be cold, and since I'm running around with a how do I, yeah, I have an EVA booster, which basically gives my suit extra cold protection. So it can get really, really, really cold on this planet, and it's going to have zero effect on me whatsoever. And that's fine for me. So this planet is, you know, at times going to get really cold, but it's not going to bother me whatsoever. The other thing that I found nice about this planet is the terrain. The terrain is very conducive to building rather large because it's so wonderfully flat, or at least this location that I found on the planet is very wonderfully flat. Anyway, why have I brought you guys into Empyrion? Because, well, I haven't done a video in quite some time, and you guys are probably thinking that I like fell off the planet, died to COVID, or whatever, or maybe got burned down in a riot or something of that nature. Well, just letting you know, none of that happened. I'm fine. So what I really want to do in this episode, besides decorate, I haven't painted or decorated anything, which is something I tend to love to do in this game, but really haven't done because I've been lazy. Is I want to make myself a better capital ship, and I actually want to make myself a better small vehicle. That's what this is an SV, and this is a capital vessel, a CV. I would like to redo both of these, though for right now my SV is functional. It does most of the things I need. It's not horrible to look at, but there are some changes I would like to make it aesthetically. So I will eventually do that, but for right now the priority is, I guess, to redo the capital vessel. And there are some major problems with this guy. This guy is currently built very compactly, and you can hear one of the problems, and that's that there's a warp tank up there that's not very shielded, and if you jump a little too high in here, you can start to really cook yourself. with the radiation from the warp tank. And if you go messing around too much up here, you can start to cook yourself from the radiation on the warp tank. And you can see through there that there's the warp drive in there. So just FYI, you don't need to expose your warp tank to the air like I've done. I just do it for kind of an RP value. You know, your thrusters, you don't necessarily have to expose your thrusters, I don't think, in the game, but I do that, I suppose, for RP value as well. But yeah, so that's a thruster up. And underneath, we of course have thrusters that way, thrusters that way. We have thrusters down. Yeah, these are all small thrusters, right? So they're not incredibly efficient. There is one medium thruster back here on the back, which gives it its primary bit of juice to go forward. But it's functional. It gets off the ground, and it managed to transfer all my stuff over here in the beginning. It's not horribly what's the word I'm looking for? Unaesthetic. I mean, if I painted it, it would probably look a lot nicer. But if I paint it, and also if I painted it, you wouldn't see the mismatch of block usage. So, like, this is normal steel, this is heavy steel. There's not a shred of combat steel on this thing, so it is, by my regards, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Weak? No, not weak. Soft. I wouldn't take this into any type of fights, that's for sure. I'm gonna get up here, I swear to God. There are easier ways to get up here. And I did it that time. Okay, so I just wanted to take you to I just had to pack everything in here just so that it would be functional, and so I'd be able to get off the ground and do my thing. You know, there's just a small generator there. There's that. This was built in kind of two phases. This was the first part of it, and then there was an external extension built onto the back here. You can see this is right here is kind of where the extension was added onto the back, and also there was an extension added onto the top to put the warp drive up here. So we put the warp drive up on top of the hood, or the roof, and then we tossed the pentaxid tank in here. We threw in a slightly larger generator here, the slightly bigger thruster back here, and another bigger fuel tank here. This was kind of like a second part expansion, if you will, onto the capital vessel. So it was flying around without that, and without that back part. Inter-system, so that I could collect things in like the asteroid belt and stuff like that, which I could also do with the small vessel. However, the small vessel doesn't infinitely have the carrying capacity that a capital vessel does. That's one of the changes that they made in Empyrion, is that capital vessels now definitely serve a purpose because they have far more carrying capacity. Like, for example, this particular cargo box has a volume of 8,000. The ammo box has only a volume of 2,000. But there's ways to increase that volume, and I'll show you what we're talking about there. But yeah, I'll show you the much smaller volumes of, say, this is an ammo box for a small vessel, right? And it is only 125, or a cargo box for a small vessel is only 125. So that's infinitely less than 8,000. Of course, you can now connect a container controller to container extensions to make ultimately one big container. So this is basically a 3-block container, and if you open it up, you'll see that it has a volume of 24,000, which is quite a lot more. You can put a lot more extensions on here and make, well, even bigger containers. But for my purposes, this size container is working just fine. These are large constructors. This is my advanced constructor. This is the one I turn on and use. These guys are just kind of here for show, as well as the containers they're connected to are kind of here for show. If my friends were to decide to join me to play Empyrion, I would let them use these. They could throw their stuff into here, and I wouldn't have to worry about them messing with my stuff that would be off limits to them here. So that's kind of what that's about. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be wanting to, I guess, step one is I need to extend my landing pad. I'm not sure if I'm just going to tear apart the Kobayashi Maru, which wouldn't be a bad idea. It's not exactly very appealing to look at, nor is it the best put together capital vessel. I mean, if I painted it, it might be alright, but it's got a very strange blockiness to it that I'm not horribly sold on. But I might keep it as just like an emergency utility capital vessel that, in case I might need it for whatever strange situation. Not that I can imagine needing it, but, yeah. I do definitely want to build a much more well-designed capital vessel with nice walkways and with a nice shielded warp core, but in order to do that type of thing, I'm gonna need a lot of space, and so I should start making some concrete, because I'm gonna need a lot more space than what I have here. Right, so I'm on this particular system where drones do not attack. So, as you may have noticed, I don't have any guns, and that is because I don't really need them, though I might eventually put some guns on this just in case. Yeah, base blocks, sorry. Concrete block, there we go. Alright, so let's kick out another, I don't know, 300 or so of those. Yeah. In the meantime, I'm getting low on food. Let's hunt us some local spidery worm things that usually hang out over here somewhere. Where are they? They're in the water again. Alright. One down. Those have become my primary food source. Okay, I'm gonna need to put my helmet on for this. They are not the nicest thing to look at. Not the nicest thing to think about eating, but when you're hungry, you're hungry. Take the helmet off. Come over here and turn on the food processor. throw the meat. So yeah, food processors now kind of link to the refrigerators linked to the food processors now, like cargo boxes linked to the constructors. Used to be that you had an inventory in the food processor that you could just throw the food right into. I'm showing kind of my age in the game, I suppose. And I don't know when many of these changes have taken place. I've taken large periods of rest from this game, so that could have been a change that happened a long time ago that people may have already been very much aware of. It's not like it's one of the most recent changes, which would be the CPU stuff that I was going to explain, but I don't think I ever got to. Right. So your builds now have a CPU requirement, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So that's as much as we can carry of the concrete at this moment in time. Which is a whole nother thing. I could have linked my... Yeah, I'll show you that later. Do I want to go this way? I think I want to go this way. Yeah. Oops. This is an inefficient way to build. I could be using more efficient ways, but I prefer kind of a handcrafted approach. I don't know, makes things feel better. Gives me something to do all day long. So let's see if I can explain this. If you press F4, you open up what's called logistics. And with the logistics system, you can link the player's inventory to like a particular inventory here on the base. In this example, I would hit these two buttons here to connect container on right to my inventory. Now, if I take these out and put them in here, I now can carry the 80 because I'm not necessarily carrying them. Logistics is carrying them because it's assuming that the base has logistics. And now I can go out here with these blocks and place them like I would any other block. Just like that. You'll find I don't use logistics very often because I don't know. It's just I like some of the things about the logistics change, but I'm not completely sold on the logistics change. The logistics change feels like added complexity for complexity's sake in many regards, and then in some regards it does make some things easier. Like it's certainly easier to like load up a capital ship with, say, a base's inventory. You can do that in the matter of a few clicks now by just transferring the entire base's inventory over to a capital ship's inventory, for instance, instead of running back and forth between the container modules. And that's, I suppose, where this logistic system has most certainly, I don't know, made the lazy gamer have a higher quality of life. I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing, because I think the running back and forth has a certain element of realism. Like you're a grunt and you're doing work. Right. I like to be a grunt and doing work. I like having an inventory limitation, etc. However, with the logistic systems, they've added on to inventory limitations dramatically. Now you can't carry near what you used to be able to carry in your personal inventory. Not even close. So for example, if you were going to build a large constructor and you wanted to place it manually yourself, you would have to completely empty your inventory of everything, and then you would be able to pick up the large constructor because it's equal to your entire inventory. It would be the only thing you could have on you in order to place it. And then an advanced constructor, you can't fit it in your inventory at all. It's too big. And so without the logistic systems, there's no way to place the advanced constructor. You have to use the logistic system in order to place it. Period. So that's the part where I'm talking about the added complexity for complexity's sake. I'm not sure I like those changes, but they are what they are. I don't know. I'm kind of like 60-40 on the whole logistics system. Kind of 60% for, 40% against, if you will. And I still haven't talked about CPU. So if you look at here in your control panel of, like, say, we're on the headquarters here, I have a CPU rating of 136,000 out of 200,000. This is I'm currently, my base is a tier 2 CPU. It can go up to tier 3 and then eventually tier 4. Tier 4 is the highest, and of course you get that through your research tree. And CPU is used by things like the constructors, or yeah, I think the constructors for the most part are using most of it. Maybe some of the medical equipment might be using it. Food processor might use a little. But yeah, so like on a ship, thrusters use a lot of CPU. RCSs use a lot of CPU. In fact, on this ship, you're going to see that I have 6 RCSs, and that's kind of the old school mentality. That's the old way of building in the game. Having 6 RCSs is probably not a good idea for a small vessel. I was building that small vessel without understanding the new CPU changes. So in the future, when I rebuild the small vessel, I would probably limit it to about 2 RCSs, as they seem to have changed the flight dynamics a bit. RCSs don't nearly seem as important as they used to be. I'm not so sure what I think about that either, but it is a change. And like I said, this game, you're constantly relearning because they're constantly adapting and evolving it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of the logistics here and do away with this plant. If I can figure out how to do away with the logistics. Come on. No. F4. Click that, right? unlink maybe. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to grab that. We're going to grab this. We're going to shoot it. It's gone. Goodbye. I'm going to need a chainsaw for that. I'm going to need a chainsaw for those guys. I might as well try to grab the chainsaw. And I believe the chainsaw is up in my weapons locker on the capital vessels. So in order to more easily get up here, we'll go this way and we'll use this as a jumping off point to get over to the capital vessel. Like that. And where are you, chainsaw? Might need biofuel, so I suppose I'll grab it. And let's go cut some trees. Yeah, if you hear that click, 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 that's radiation. That's from my poorly shielded and built warp drive on that vessel. But yeah, we're just gonna log this area off. I'm probably gonna square it up with the back here, so I probably don't need to kill that tree. These trees, however, need to go. I mean, I could build the capital vessel out here. It's very smooth. But I'm weird about building myself a platform to land and to actually physically construct the capital vessel on. It's just a thing I do. I don't know why. It's, you know, a thing. Yeah, I don't think I'm coming this far out. This guy, maybe. So, can I cut this down? I can't. Oh, that's cool. Grab this last little plant over here. There, we should be ready for expanding this without having anything in the way. Biofuel back in there. And yeah. I'm gonna stop by this container to drop off this armored concrete block. And we'll get rid of, clean up the inventory a little bit. That one. This actually needs to go in the fridge. you done with your queue? You are, so I'm going to turn you off to save power. And really? I might need to make more. Am I out of? No, I've got more crystone. Let's turn you back on and get some more. I think I'm going to need a little more. Base, building, concrete. Yeah, give me another 100. But yeah, so this is probably why I haven't done a lot of videos on this, is that I don't think this is, how do I put this, the most entertaining watch. It's basically kind of like me playing Minecraft, where I'm just placing a bunch of blocks around and walking back and forth, grabbing more blocks. I mean, some people might be into this, but I thought at least having a video explaining where and what I've been doing and kind of going over an overview of how I've gotten to this point would be maybe more interesting than watching me build. However, I'm gonna finish out building this this concrete slab that I plan to lay the new keel of our new capital vessel on, probably on camera during this video. So you'll get to experience some amount of torture. As if you're into that type. You know, there are some people that are into that thing. Anyway. Keep getting shorter and shorter. I know one thing that kind of bothers me is that I don't have the legs up in there. I don't like how high she sits. That's because of the way I put the legs on. That it? I think we need more. Alright, let's do some counting here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. That's only half as wide as I'm gonna need it. And then what is the length? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 10 by 34. I'm gonna need 340 more blocks. Okay, so I'm gonna have to queue up a little bit more than what I've been doing. Yeah, so I'm gonna want a new capital vessel that is actually this entire length from back here all the way to over there. So 2 times as long, right? And just a little bit wider than this current vessel is. This current vessel is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 1 in the center and then another 6. So this guy is 13 wide, right? So I'm thinking about going 17 wide, and there's 10 here, a gap of 10. I want to have another gap of 20 because I want to have, you know, some buffer zone to park the thing. So yeah, that's where we are. So I'm thinking a 17 wide capital vessel that is the whole 32 blocks in length. And that is the footprint I'm looking to go with. And it'll be a nice, big, large, healthy footprint. However, I need to queue up 340. Plus a couple extra. Yeah, that should be about right there. I might not have enough stone. I'm chewing through my stone quickly, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm fine with building the slab, the foundation slab, out of concrete. I think it's kind of the perfect material for building the slab out of, as the slab is not exactly important. It's not something you need to armor. At least I don't believe it is something you need to armor. It's more utilitarian. It's your flat workspace where you park and work on. I really should link. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way. Alright, there we are. I'm getting hungry again, ain't I? I could eat my chocolate bars, which, well, they're not really chocolate bars, they're corn dog bars is what they are. But they kind of a special food in that they have a long shelf life. I can carry them around and not have to worry about them going bad. And so they're good food for going on adventures with. So I try to stockpile them and not use them, where cooked meals like steak, you know, spoils a lot faster. I may need to go on a hunt. In fact, I probably should go on a hunt now while I still have time to hunt. So, how am I doing as far as... Yeah, I got plenty of ammo. Off we go. I don't have any ammo in my SV here. Let's go ahead and power it up. And I don't have a light on the SV either. I should put one on. Just gonna kind of fly over here by this old tank station, as this seems to usually have a fair amount of creepy crawly dinosaurs. Gonna give them an opportunity to spawn in. Now this is not exactly the safest prey to hunt. Let's just go ahead and set the ship down. Oh, come on. Are they not going to spawn in here? Maybe if I approach. I've never eaten one of those. In fact, I've never even fought one of these. Whoa! Spiders. I hate fucking spiders. Anyone that's followed my channel for a while knows I'm arachnophobic. Oh shit, there's 3 of them. I hate spiders. Where's the other one? We might be eating spider. Good. We are. Alright, well let's... How'd I do for ammo? Still got plenty. Where's that ice yeti golem thing? Ice golem. These are supposed to be pretty strong. I've never fought one of these before. ALN. It's got a faction? Huh. Is it a hostile faction? Well, is it going to attack me? If I get close to you, what do you do? Hi? How are you? Oh yeah, you don't like me. Wow, it was pretty tough. A lot of XP though. Well, I guess I'm not eating the golem. Interesting. Well, the 3 spiders might hold me over. What's that I hear? More spiders? Very strange to have a solo spider out here. Alright, 4 spiders is enough. Let's get back to the ship. Home's this way. A little close. Level off. Base a little that way. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4. And why didn't you stack? Because you're beyond stack. Okay. Whoa. I'm out of crushed stone. Well, that could be a small problem. How many did we get up to? Hopefully that will be enough. Alright, turn you off. Probably turn you off too. Conserve our energy. Oh yay, I've leveled up. What am I doing? I'm not sure. That's going to be the last concrete I'll be able to make. I could make a little bit more, but that 8 stone isn't going to translate into a whole, maybe like, 15 or 20 blocks. I'll be able to put one more stretch on here. Is this big enough? Let's check the dimensions. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ooh, that'll be tight. Huh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13. I like having an odd center line. So 17 or 15. I would like a little bit more width. I really would like to go 17. That doesn't exactly leave me much of a gap, does it? Not really. Well, I haven't looked at things this way. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I could easily fit widthwise this way, but what is my length? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Just as long. Problem is that the nose of this construction would block the solar panels, and I don't really want that. Choices. Choices indeed. Unless I shifted you over to this corner and then built along that way. That might make sense. Yeah, anyway, I think we're done with the building of the building area. So I will let you guys go. I will stop the torture. this has been basically me checking in Empyrion Online. I will probably do another check-in video when I'm laying the keel of the capital vessel, as I think I want to explain the thought process behind how the keel will be laid out. Anyway, I'm Jaames Johnson, aka Sulfurblade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe. And until the next time, all, peace.